Good morning, friends. Today we have with us Mr. Ajay Bedi, Mr. Manu Ashokan. ये डायरेक्टर से मिलिए कार्यक्रम के तहत है आपके लिए, जिसमें मिस्टर अजय बेदी जो हैं ये डायरेक्टर हैं फिल्म है द सेक्रेड लाइफ ऑफ फ्रॉग्स, जो मेढक के जीवन के बारे में है। और ये फिल्म जो है नेशनल अवार्ड से भी नवाजी गई है। अजय बेदी जी को भी काफी जाना पहचाना नाम है नॉन फीचर फिल्म के बारे में। और मनु अशोकन जी मलयाली फिल्म के डायरेक्टर हैं, काफी जाने पहचाना नाम है इनका। आज जिस फिल्म के बारे में बात होगी वो है फिल्म उयेरे। इट्स मलयाली फिल्म, जो एक पल्लवी एक कस्बाई लड़की है और वो पायलट बनना चाहती है। उस सपने को लेकर मुंबई जाती है, जहां पर उसका जो फ्रेंड है वो उसके ऊपर एसिड अटैक करता है। एसिड अटैक के बाद वो किसी तरह से दिल्ली पहुंचती है। दिल्ली पहुंचने के बाद उसकी जीवन में नया मोड़ आता है, क्योंकि वहां एक कैफे, जो हमारी जानकारी में जो है कि वो आगरा में है सर, इट्स आगरा। तो वहां वो जुड़ती है एक ग्रुप से, जिसमें एसिड अटैक की लड़कियां मिल करके काम करती हैं, और वहां से फिर उसका जीवन नए तरीके से संवरता है। तो इन सब चीजों के बारे में हम बात करेंगे, लेकिन इसके पहले 1.5 मिनट की एक फिल्म है अजय बेदी जी की। इस लाइक मुमताज झलक है, क्योंकि मेढक के बारे में फिल्म है, तो इसके लिए थोड़ा सा उसमें कोई ये फीचर फिल्म जैसी कोई कहानी नहीं है इसमें, ये एंटरटेनमेंट फिल्म नहीं है। तो इसलिए हम चाहेंगे कि 1.5 मिनट आप स्पेयर करें उस फिल्म को देखने के लिए। सर प्लीज चला दीजिए। बंद कर दें? हाँ ठीक है।
My name is Vijay Bedi, filmmaker and photographer. I'm passionate about wildlife, and I'm on a quest to track tiny amphibians. My journey through dark swamps and bleak mountaintops will take 3 long years. I will be joined by intrepid scientists to capture the secret lives of frogs on camera. But with 2/3 of the world's amphibians facing a decline, the clock is ticking. Will my expedition unravel the secrets of this hidden world, of what's lost forever?
थैंक यू। तो मिस्टर बेदी एंड अजय बेदी, द बोथ ब्रदर एंड दे आर ट्विंस, और इनकी तीसरी पीढ़ी है ये इस तरह की फिल्म बनाने की। और फिल्म तो आपने उसकी झलक देख लिया। इसके बारे में बात आपसे जो भी कुछ सवाल हो इसके बारे में मैं इतना ही थोड़ा सा और आपको बता दूं कि मेढक के बारे में जब हम सोचते हैं तो ये लगता है कि या तो रात है या बरसात है, और उसके बीच में वो मेढक पे कैसे काम किए होंगे, कैमरा चलाना, फिल्म बनाना, और बाकी उसके बाद सर आपकी फिल्म के बारे में डिटेल हम लोग बात करेंगे। तो नाउ फ्लोर इज ओपन फॉर मिस्टर अजय वेदी, इफ यू वांट टू से समथिंग सर।
I would like to take this platform and thank IFFI and the jury members who gave us the opportunity to present our film to the world, I will say, because it's an international festival and it's one of the prestigious festival of India. And I will say it's a platform for filmmakers like us. I mean, feature film ke liye to hai, there are many platforms where feature films can be screened, you know. But especially for documentary, there is very few platforms and places where we can screen our films. So ये एक बहुत बड़ा प्लेटफॉर्म है हम जैसे फिल्म मेकर्स के लिए कि अपनी आवाज़ स्पेशली जानवरों के प्रति जो कंजर्वेशन के लिए है वो हम आगे रख सकते हैं। और स्पेशली लोगों ने टाइगर्स के बारे में फ़िल्म देखी है, एलिफेंट्स के बारे में फ़िल्म देखी है, पर ये हिंदुस्तान की पहली फ्रॉग के ऊपर फिल्म है जो कि फ्रॉग के बारे में लोगों को बताती है और उनकी कंजर्वेशन के बारे में बताती है। सो आई विल से आप फिल्म देखिए एंड आपको बहुत अच्छा लगेगा। थैंक यू।
अच्छा, इंट्रोड्यूशन तो हो गया। मिस्टर मनु अशोकन जी ये मलयाली फिल्म मेकर हैं और इन्होंने फिल्म के बारे में भी मैंने एक्चुअली शुरू में ही हमने इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया था। उसके बारे में पहले चूंकि बारी बारी सर का ये बात हो जाए, उसके बाद मलयाली फिल्म जो उयरे है वो भी बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग फिल्म है। पूरा ये केरल से लेकर के दिल्ली तक की कहानी उसमें जुड़ी होगी, दिल्ली के कस्बे से जुड़ी हुई है। तो बेटर वी विल टॉक लेटर सर।
Yeah, sure, sure.
यस सर।
जैसा कि कृपा शंकर जी ने कहा कि मेढक या तो रात में या बरसात में, और दिखते भी कम है, तो इतना सारा, और जंगलों में भी एक ही आध कहीं दिखते होंगे, तो आपने कैसे इसको इतना जोड़ के और फिल्म बनाने की कोशिश की?
मैं ये कहूँगा कि जब हम फ्रॉक्स के बारे में बात करते हैं सो दो तीन चीज़ें हैं जो दिमाग में आती हैं। एक तो बारिश है और एक रात है, और ये दोनों चीज़ें ऐसी हैं जो कि एक फिल्म मेकर के लिए बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है। स्पेशली अगर हम फ्रॉक्स को जब फिल्म कर रहे थे तो इतनी इंटेंस बारिश में हम लोग फिल्म कर रहे थे कि हम लोग ऑलमोस्ट, अगर हम फिल्म करना शुरू करते थे और रात को जब हम वापस जाते थे सो हम लोग पूरे भीगे होते थे। सो वी हैव टू ट्रीट आवर सेल्स विद आई विल से फंगस पाउडर्स, क्योंकि हमें पानी में जब हम रहते थे हमारी स्किन ऑलमोस्ट लाइक ख़राब हो जाती थी, तो हमको एंटी फंगल पाउडर्स यूज़ करने पड़ते थे, प्रॉपर गियर में रहना पड़ता था, और इवन एनिमल को बहुत ध्यान से समझना था बिकॉज वी आर ऑल्सो वर्किंग विद साइंटिस्ट इन दिस फिल्म। तो जो फ्रॉग है वो लाइट के प्रति कैसे रिएक्ट करता है, हम सीधा एकदम से उसको फ्लड लाइट नहीं कर सकते थे बिकॉज जैसे हम लाइट डालते थे वो भाग जाते थे। सो वी स्टार्टेड यूजिंग रेड लाइट, हमने उसको रेड लाइट में यूज़ किया, उसको ट्रैक करना, देखना, और जैसे जैसे वो यूज टू हुए फिर वेरी इंटेंस तो नहीं, बहुत सेंसिटिव लाइट के साथ हमने उनको फिल्म करना शुरू किया।
Where have you shot this? Which part of?
We have filmed almost all over India, but mainly we have filmed in Western Ghats, I will say. Yes.
And also on amphibian life is depleting, you know, you have to say on that, you say something about that?
Yes, I mean,
Environment, whatever.
right. I mean, there are many factors which are affecting the, especially I will say, population of frogs, and mainly it's climate change, and at the same time, it is basically degradation of their habitat due to construction of smaller dams, which in turn helps deteriorating the flow of the rivers. बिकॉज जो फ्रॉग्स हैं वो छोटे रिवर्स और स्ट्रीम्स में पाए जाते हैं, और जहाँ पे हम उनको ऑल्टर करते हैं आइदर फॉर डेवलपमेंट और आइदर फॉर इवन एग्रीकल्चर पर्पसेस, और वो स्ट्रीम की लाइफ खत्म होती है, सो विल द फ्रॉग्स विल काइंड ऑफ डाई। एंड ऑल्सो आई विल जस्ट लाइक टू ऐड हेयर दैट इवन फ्रॉग्स को जो फूड ट्रेड के लिए हार्वेस्ट किया जाता है खाने के लिए, आई विल से that is also a very very major I will say cause of affecting wildlife of frogs. क्योंकि जो फ्रॉग्स हैं वो दोनों ही मतलब वो जंगल में तो पाए जाते हैं, बट मोस्ट ऑफ द स्पीशीज आर आल्सो फाउंड आउटसाइड द नेशनल पार्क. सो हमें सिर्फ जंगल नहीं बचाने हैं, हमें जंगल के जो आसपास के एरिया हैं, स्ट्रीम्स हैं, उनको भी बचाना है. क्योंकि जो फ्रॉग्स होते हैं, कहते हैं वो एक तरह से एक बायोमीटर होता है. इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ बायोमीटर ऑफ द एनवायरनमेंट. क्योंकि अगर किसी भी स्ट्रीम में फ्रॉग है तो मीन्स वो हेल्दी है. अगर वो फ्रॉग नहीं है वहां पे तो दैट मीन्स इट्स एन अनहेल्दी एनवायरनमेंट. एंड जो चीज हमारे फ्रॉग को इफेक्ट कर रही है, अल्टीमेटली इट कैन अफेक्ट ऑल ऑफ अस.
And how much time did it take to shoot the entire film?
Yes, this film almost took 3 years to make, in making I will say, because there was a lot of research which went into this film, because we were filming we filmed many species, but in the film we have covered almost 6-7 species, jinka wildlife status is very very critical. They are critically endangered and even threatened, and especially one of the species which is called the purple frog. It is very elusive. वो आई विल से साल में सिर्फ कुछ दिन ही बाहर आता है मिट्टी से, क्योंकि हमें लगता है सिर्फ फ्रॉग सिर्फ पानी में रहते हैं. देयर आर मेनी टाइप्स ऑफ फ्रॉग्स. स्ट्रीम फ्रॉग्स होते हैं, अंडरग्राउंड फ्रॉग्स होते हैं लाइक बरोडियल फ्रॉग्स, देयर आर ट्री फ्रॉग्स. सो ये फिल्म एक तरह से एक एजुकेट करती है व्यूअर्स को भी कि हमारे एक तरह जो फ्रॉग है वो सिर्फ बारिशों में आवाज नहीं करते. यू नो देयर आर मेनी एस्पेक्ट्स टू अ फ्रॉग. दे आर वेरी ब्यूटीफुल क्रीचर्स, दे आर वेरी ब्यूटीफुल एनिमल्स. एंड जैसे टाइगर्स हैं, एलिफेंट्स हैं, उतना ही हमारा फ्रॉग इम्पोर्टेंट है और हमको वो हाईलाइट करना चाहिए और उसके प्रति जागरूकता बढ़ानी है. Right.
You shot the. You shot. Hello. Good. You shot the film in Western Ghats basically, and that too in a dense forest, and that too in a night time during the heavy rains and all that.
Right.
And Western Ghats is also famous for tigers.
Right.
So you are not scared of tigers?
See, I will say I am not scared of tigers, but जिस एरिया में हम फिल्म करे थे, there were not many tigers. I mean, basically वो टाइगर का एरिया नहीं था. We were only filming where there are frogs, and there were certain areas even outside the area, jungle area, where there were frogs. And coming from a background from a film line, like my father has been a director, cameraman, and he was the first Indian to make wildlife films in India. So वो wildlife तो हमारे खून में बसी है. तो one has to be very careful. But in fact मैं youngsters के लिए ये मैसेज दूंगा कि आपने अगर वाइल्ड पे फिल्म बनानी है तो जानवर जो भी आप अपना पिकअप करते हैं सब्जेक्ट, वेदर वो टाइगर है, एलिफेंट है, फ्रॉग्स है, और इवन स्नो लेपर्ड है, सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट एनिमल. उसके बारे में समझना आपको चाहिए है, उसको बारे में आपको रिसर्च करनी बहुत जरूरी है, सो दैट ऐसा कोई हादसा ना हो आपके साथ जो कि आपके लिए भी मुश्किल हो और जानवर के लिए भी मुश्किल हो.
Hi Ajay, yeah.
Yes.
Alfie from All India Radio. Two questions. One is, what would you say to the schools that still, make their students dissect frogs? Would you plan to show this film, to the educational boards, because that in a way would help? Secondly, any special kind of, equipment you use, like, kind of motion sensors or something like that, because a lot of time-lapse videos and, stuff like that. So,
Right. So basically answering to your first question about the schools and colleges, see, to be very frank, we are not against anything, to be very frank. But yes, if we talk about development, for example, development is to be done, but in a systematic and a synchronized way. If there is, for example, even in Western Ghats, there are a lot of areas where, there are roads being, going through the forest, which is not 100% right, because there are areas where, you are kind of dissecting the corridors, even for other wildlife also, which is a great kind of a disadvantage and very bad for wildlife, because a lot of animals die during crossing these highways. So if development is to be taken, it has to be considered very, very carefully. There has to be discussed with wildlife, conservationists, environmentalists, and a lot of effort has to go into before taking a final decision towards any action which can affect both humans and I will say wildlife. And same thing with the schools, and scientific research. I mean, if they need to do certain experiments, they need to see what species they want to work on, and if there is a species which they think can be used according to their population, if they're abundant in numbers, I hope that should be fine. But again, one has to consult a scientific approach on that. Right. And regarding the filming and technical, yes, we were using very sensitive cameras. In fact, due to new technology and digitization of whole industry, I will say, things have really changed. Cameras are more sensitive to lights. So we were using very sensitive lights so that we don't disturb the animals, as I said earlier. At the same time, we were using macro photography, because आपने देखा ये frog almost एक thumb जितना है. So even that was the biggest challenge, because just to film that animal so small, you have to be very, very alert. आप टाइगर या एलिफेंट को फिल्म करते हैं तो यू कैन एक्चुअली सी विद नेकेड आई क्या कर रहे हैं, कहाँ जा रहे हैं, क्या नहीं कर रहे. बट फ्रॉग्स के लिए यू हैड टू बी ओपन. आपको भी फ्रॉग्स जैसी आंखें खोल के देखना पड़ता था, बिकॉज देर आर स्पीशीज विच वी फिल्म लाइक द टॉरेंट फ्रॉग और द पर्पल फ्रॉग. तो उनका इवन जो बिहेवियर है, लाइक वन ऑफ द बिहेवियर्स दे डू इज कोर्टशिप बिहेवियर में, दे एक्चुअली इट्स नॉट फुट फ्लैगिंग. दे काइंड ऑफ रेज देयर फुट एंड it looks like as they are dancing. So it has to be captured in a very slow motion feature in the cameras, right? And also we use a lot of time lapses, because our film is also highlighting the monsoon and water, so that has to come through. So we use a lot of time lapses in the film. Yeah. Incidents were many, but I mean, I will say the major incident or the challenge was to find these frogs, and especially when we were filming, when Vijay and I decided to make a film on frogs. Initially, we thought it would be very easy, because we have filmed tigers, we have filmed snow leopards, we have filmed elephants, you name an animal, we have filmed it. But we thought, okay, frogs है, बहुत आसान होगा, कर लेते हैं. But when we started filming, we thought it's not that easy, because there was a lot of challenges like climate change. Initially, when we went there, हम जल्दी पहुंच गए थे. There were already tadpoles in the water, so we couldn't film the breeding season. So second year we went, we were early. We went early सोच के कि हम थोड़ा लेट गए थे last year, तो इस साल हम जल्दी जाएंगे. But unfortunately there were no rains. बारिश ही नहीं हुई उस साल. It was the worst year of monsoon in India. So then Vijay and I had a very long discussion कि क्या करें यार, film करें भी नहीं करें, or either we should leave it. So but because we have that passion towards wildlife, and we said, no, let's give it a last chance, because it's our own funds, own money which we were putting in films, which is very difficult as a wildlife filmmaker to kind of generate money and put in your films. So finally we were able to go there. We almost spent almost a month with heavy rains and no rains, and then finally film the whole behavior. Yeah. I will say, see, it's the because of the technology, things has become easier. But again, yes, people are more interested if given an option that whether they would like to invest in a soap, like a series, or a wildlife film, they will definitely go for a soap or a different film. The challenge is always there, but at the same time, there are a lot of organizations, there are a lot of, I will say, broadcasters who are willing to take the challenge and give people like us. Like, for example, our film was picked up by Animal Planet. It was showcased on Animal Planet. And even when we were discussing with them, they said it would be a great challenge because they have never, pick up the film on frogs like that.
Okay, ma'am, if you want to talk more, you please talk in that room, PIB loan.
Right.
And we have with us Mr. Manu Ashokan ji, who is the film director of UYARE. Means basically it's like Udan, जिसको आप हिंदी में flight, something like that, sir? Flight?
It's like above.
Above. तो उनके बारे में I would like to request Mr. Manu Ashokan ji, and Madam Serga is also here. So please tell something about your film, and then they will ask some questions about your film, and please introduce your film.
Hello, I'm Manu, director of UYARE, and we had a screening last day, and one more is tomorrow, I think. And this is my producers, Shenuga, and one more producer was there. She went back, and these three sisters made me strong to make a movie, and they are the daughters of our eminent producer P.V. Gangadharan sir. He is here also. He has done around 24 movies of Malayalam, and they have the and movies about a girl's life travel and her problems and how she overcomes that and she reaches where she wanted to be. That's where, and if somebody is there who didn't watch, please go and watch tomorrow. Thank you.
Made her so proud, and three ladies behind one man. It is really, yeah, three ladies plus one more, one who has acted in that. I'm right from my heart. I congratulate you. But I don't know when, since I've not seen. I want to know about the music part of it.
Music.
Yeah, and overall, like since it's a Malayalam movie, how
No, actually, music has a very important part in our movie, but actually, it's a commercial movie. It's a conventional movie with a storytelling, and we used music for that background, and 3 songs are there. But for IFFI, we had a recut, and it's my cut, and music has not comparatively to the commercial release. We have some low musics and all, and we shortened it to 2 songs, and it's a montage of 3rd song. But in our country, I mean, in Kerala, when it released, music, really background scoring was very much important. And Gopi Sundar, the name of the musician, is one of the prominent music directors of Malayalam. Not, it's a melodious music, not in Karnataka, not in Hindustani, but it's like emotion is the strongest part of that movie, so music supported it very well. No, actually, the characters are familiar to us. They are living around us, and we know them. And of course, we are dealing with the toxic relationships of these times. And Kerala was a little away from these kind of domestic violences. But after we started working on this project, it came the number of domestic violences increased, and we were like, we want to share the fear to the society that please, this is not the way to deal love or relationships. That's what we tried to explain.
That is the reason you decided to make a film, or this how?
No. The first reason was I liked the thought and I liked the script. That was the main thing of a director, to be convinced myself what I'm going to do.
And to producers, why did you choose a subject as
Yeah, that's.
because I'm sure the directors are mad.
Good morning. Actually, Manu said this is a topic. It's a very strong topic. Like it's not it's not only in Kerala. The whole world is facing the same problem. So I think you have to watch this. The movie tomorrow. I think you'll understand how strong is this topic. Yeah.
The director just mentioned about domestic violence on a rise in Kerala. Do you want to talk about it? What do you think is the reason behind all that?
It's like
Yeah, it's the most educated one in the world. Hi.
yeah.
Tell me something about that.
Like in Kerala, no, the people are like they are not coming out after facing this acid attack. So we wanted to show.
Come forward.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so that it's like we wanted to show to our people that this is not they should not. Yeah, this is not the end of the life. They have to come out. They have their own they have their what do you say? Their ambitions, their dreams. They all have like us. So it's like
Do you have special screening for women there?
We did that.
Yeah, actually, we shot in Shiro's. Shiro's is the cafe run by, I won't say victims, they are the survivors. They are survivors, and yeah, and we had a screening for by our government with the support, and no, we couldn't screen them because they have already seen it in other way. I don't know. We couldn't, and and only for women we had a show in Kerala. Only for like there is a thing of Kudumbasri, like they are the gathering of women, and I think around 300, 400 women sat in a theater, and just for them we screened it in Alapura. Yeah.
Ajay sir, the
Yes.
question is to you. Sir. Your film is targeted at which audience? One. Two is how do you plan to reach global markets with this film?
Right.
Third is how was Netflix and Amazon Prime and all assisting and supporting you in a film of this nature?
Right. What was your first question? Sorry, can you repeat that? Target audience. Basically, I mean, as a wildlife filmmaker, our target audience is almost all from children to adults, because our aim has always been to create awareness for wildlife, and at the same time create the love for animals, whether it's tigers or whether it's frogs, because people at times don't know the details of frogs, because we have seen frogs from really close up. So you talk about looking at them in their eyes, it's very, very beautiful. You can actually see different patterns in different frogs. I don't know, you notice there is a frog whose eye shape is almost like a heart. There's a frog whose eye shape is like a diamond. And it's so intense that, you know, if that beauty can come out through our film or their behavior, it creates love for the animal, and then the movement starts, you know. People start talking about it, and once they start talking about it, there's more action towards that. So it's basically for all audience. And at the same time, we are also targeting the political group or the scientific group, because in our film we were able to film a lot of sequences which have been filmed for the first time. I mean, even scientists have not seen them, you know, and we are kind of together writing scientific paper. So it would be kind of a document which can be used by further filmmakers or people who want to study the animal. They will actually can learn from that. See, global audience, basically, as I said, the film has been picked up by Animal Planet, so it has been broadcasted on Animal Planet, and it would be broadcasted further also. And
Your response on Amazon and Prime and
I mean, as I
Netflix?
said, they are kind of giving opportunities, and they are showing wildlife content which is very, very good. And recent content, which whatever they have showed, it's very nice, and they should kind of promote more on that. We have not approached them, but definitely, if given an opportunity, we might approach them as well.
Mr. Bedi?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
On this Sir David Attenborough's documentary, Planet Earth and all this series,
Right.
there's some criticism, you know, that it is oversimplification or too much dramatization of wildlife. And one of his photographers also admitted, saying that, you know, it's not easy to in natural circumstances, and you have to do some sort of editing. And so what is your comment on that?
See, I would not like to comment on them, what they have done, or people have seen it and people know it, people are already talking about it. But I will say regarding my film in context with Secret Life of Frogs, see, no doubt it's a conservation film, but to make it interesting, sometimes you need to treat your subject in a way that, you know, you create interest within the audience which you are, or they are watching the film. For example, as I was talking, there is a species called torrent frog which does a behavior called, the foot flagging. So for scientific, if you talk about very scientific language, they do foot flagging, people don't understand it. So what we have done, we have treated it very dramatically, even in editing and even with music, because the male kind of tap their feet to kind of, attract females. So we have kind of used the tap dance music, that they tap their feet and kind of attract their females. So adding that tap that music, especially compose that music, with tap dance, it creates an kind of interest in the viewers, and they kind of relate. Oh wow, that's very nice. And same thing when they fight with their mates, the other males, they kind of stretches their leg and kind of hit the other frogs. So we have kind of used that phrase as they are the kickboxers. Another example, for example, there's a species called purple frog. So there, the frog is very, I will say, different looking frog because it's like a balloon, a water balloon. So the males kind of fight with each other. So we have used like a phrase like sumo wrestlers. So if you look at them, they actually stand on their legs and they kind of fight, and they are like sumo wrestlers. So people love that fact. So modifying your subject to kind of creating interest for audience, I don't think so there's a problem in that. But yes, one has to make it interesting so that people can create interest in the subject as well.
My question is to Ashokan. Hindi mainstream cinema also started highlighting a subject like yours, like acid attack survivors. Deepika is doing a film called Chapak.
Yeah.
And it's based on a real life story. Would you like to comment on that? And because she's actually taken a real life role, like Lakshmi's case.
Lakshmi, yeah.
So what do you have to say about that? And does your film also deal with the legal aspect? Because here she files a PI and all.
No, actually, it differs. Chapak and UYARE has a very specific difference because it's like a biopic. Chapak and my movie is fiction. It's a fiction inspired from some characters and events only. But Chapak is actually the life of Lakshmi Agarwal, and Deepika is doing the character, and it is nearly a biopic, and mine is a fiction.
But do you think a subject like this should be highlighted more?
No, the subject, what we were trying to is these survivors. Actually, in Kerala, we have, I think, when we searched for that, we got only 2 girls who were the survivors, but they don't want to speak about that. But in Agra, it's really opposite. They were telling like, come and ask us what happened to us. Don't create your own story. So they are that strong. That is the material we got. That is the strength of my character, which done by Parvati. And Chapak is Meghna also. We know what she's going to do. I don't know. I am also excited to watch that. Thank you.
Yes.
How you actually do the scripting part for a documentary? Because when actually you go on the ground, you don't know what type of this you'll get to film.
True. So basically, I mean, for wildlife films, it worked both ways. I mean, yes, initially you have to have a script because you need to know as a director that what is your film all about, whether it's a character-driven film or it's a presenter-level-driven film or it's just the wildlife what you're gonna film. So once you have that a basic scratch of your film, you definitely depend on the sequences which you will get in the field, because a lot of times you cannot predict what will you get, but you can assume, okay, I need to have a mating sequence, or I could get a frog predation with a snake, or something like that, or for example, what are the conservation issues towards that spec. So definitely research is very important in our field, and according to your research, the script is kind of been draft, and then yes, script can be modified according to your sequences which you have filmed during your filming or yes, the course of shooting.
Okay then. Thank you very much. And if you have some questions or you want to one-to-one, then you can come to that another room at PIB lounge. So please join us there.
Yeah, sure.
Hai na?
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate. Thank you, sir.